I don't know if you've ever been like me and you're working on a project. I've been working on a project for you guys for the YouTube channel. And right here, when I get close to being done, or I get real close to finishing my project, my wire welder, my Vulcan OmniPro 220 wire welder runs out of wire, or it gets so low, it's having problems feeding. So you always want to keep on stock an extra roll of welding wire. This is steel MIG welding wire. This is 0.030 diameter, and this is an 11-pound spool. Now, once I load this one, I will go in and I will make a note to pick some up next time I'm at the store picking up some metal. Okay, so always keep one of these on hand, or you're going to be caught without one, and it's going to be a pain. All right. Now, what was I doing? I was building something for the channel, and let me show you what it is. I was building a shop brake press die. I've built this one in the past, and I was going to show you how you could build one so you don't have to buy one. And so I got partway through my project. Now this is one that I've bought, or I've built in the past, and I've used it over and over and over for multiple things. They come in so handy. If you have a 20-ton press, you want to make sure you build you one of these, because you will be amazed at how many projects you can do with a shop press brake. But today, before I can finish that for you, I've got to rework my Vulcan MIG welder. Not rework it, I've got to reload my Vulcan MIG welder, okay? Now, I'm gonna take you step by step through this as we do. Open the side panel. It's got all kinds of instructions here inside this thing in order to do it, all right? But the thing I want to look at first, I'm gonna take my welding wand for my MIG welder, and I'm gonna take my cap off the end, and I'm gonna take out my electrode, and I'm gonna snip the wire, and I'm gonna pull it through. Just pull this off, okay? You got your cap, and it just pulls off. Then you've got your welding tip, okay? I'm just gonna unscrew that welding tip. Now, before I can do this, I'm gonna take my end cutters or my needle nose pliers, and I'm gonna nip off that wire, all right? That way my welding tip, my copper welding tip, it'll just slide right off, okay? I'll use that on the next one. Okay, so I've got this unhooked. I'm gonna lay it down, and I'm gonna stretch out my line. I'm gonna lay that down. Then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna show you what we've got. So inside, you see I've got my spool, and I've got my wire. And so you've got the instructions here inside the spool or inside the machine, and you've got your it'll give you how to set up your wire for a 2.5-pound spool or 10 to 12-pound spool. I have an 11-pound spool of wire that I'm going to use, and so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut my wire. Now you want to make sure your electricity is off before you do that. Now, I didn't have much left on there, but I wanted to go ahead and cut that. I'm going to unscrew my cover nut. I'm going to slide this roll of wire right out. Now, this says Vulcan MIG solid welding wire, and you can buy this stuff at Harbor Freight, but you don't have to use Vulcan. You can use any kind of steel welding wire. I use 0.030. Now, that's important because the size of my tip will determine the size of my welding wire, okay? If you notice on the back of this spool, it has this little hole. That will go over that peg, and it'll go over that peg, and that's how it keeps track of how it unwinds. Now, you also want this thing to unwind over the top. So first things first, let me take this one. I'm gonna just discard it. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to show you inside the MIG welder. So we have several components here. See if I can get you here. This one here is called your feed tensioner. So you'll have to adjust this depending on how well it goes in and out of your idler arm. This is your idler arm, okay? And here we have our feed guide. So you've got the idler arm, the feed tensioner, and the feed guide. All right. Now you can see I've currently got my wire hanging out over here. All right. So I've clipped it. I've taken off my previous spool. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen my tensioner and pull it down. Now that releases my idler arm. You can see I've got my wire right here in here on the feed. So what I've got to do is I've got to take, now that I've got the tension off of it, I'm going to go to the other end and I'm going to see if I can't pull this wire all the way through my welding wand out the other end, okay? You don't want to pull it backwards. You don't want to pull it from this end. You want to pull it from the other end through your welding arm, okay? All right, so I've taken off my cap and I've taken off my copper tubing. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slide my wire out of my wand. Now be real careful, and guys, this stuff is real springy, and you probably ought to wear glasses when you get to the end. That wire will poke you in the eye and it can cause serious damage, so be careful. Okay, so now I've got my welding wand, it's completely empty, and I'm gonna stretch it out and lay it out straight on the floor. All I'm doing is I'm laying it out. All I'm doing is I'm laying my wand out straight. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure, mosquitoes are already attacking me today. I want to make sure that there's no restrictions when I feed my wire through my machine. Now I am going to take my new spool of wire, I'm gonna open it up. It's wrapped in plastic, and you can see it's got the holes. It's got the holes on it here, and that way you can slide it on your little peg on your spindle. All right. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna open that. Open that up. Take this stuff is going to come sealed because you don't want, if you keep it in your shop, you don't want it to rust up. And so it's great if you can find a place for it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire, and you're going to look for where your wire is held on your spool. Okay, so you can see it comes over the top and it's held on the spool, and I'll take and bend this over, and we'll get this taken off and feed it through. First things first, before I do all that, I want to put it on the spindle, and I want to make sure that I've got it over the peg, not behind it, but over it. All right, it's over the peg. Now, take your lock nut and put it back on here. Just screw it on here. Now, this doesn't want, you don't have to have this super tight, but you want to be able to control it. Okay. Now, you'll need a pair of cutters, side cutters, needle nose pliers, welding pliers, or some kind of end cutter to do this next step. The mosquito. And mosquitoes are going to be bad this year. Okay, so I've got my wire coming off the top, and you can see it's going through this little hole right here. I'm going to bend that out, and I'm going to hold on to it really well. So it doesn't unspool the whole spool. And when you get it out of that little hole, you're going to want to hold it with your hand, and do not let it go backwards at all. You're going to hold it, and you're going to cut off that wire, and you're going to cut it off clean. Now, the reason you want to cut it off really clean is because it's got to feed through your mechanism. across your idling arm and your control wheel. So all you do, just get it, push it in here. Let's see if I can get you closer. So you can see I'm pushing it down. It's coming through. And here I've got to make sure it goes in that tube. Okay. Let's get it fed through pretty good. Okay. Put your Vulcan, your idling arm back down, and put your tensioner up. That's going to hold it in place. Okay. So now we've got our wire ready, and we're going to feed our wire. We're going to feed our wire through our wand all the way down, and we're going to come out that end, okay? And in order to do that, we're going to use our cold feed. So I've got my welder turned off at the moment. My cold feed won't work. It is plugged up, and you do not want to touch your wand while you're doing this. You want to make sure that you're only touching this button. So we're going to turn the machine on. I flip the machine on. It's coming on, you can see. All right, let that go through its cycle. And now I'm gonna mash my wire feed for 3 seconds. The only time you should ever do anything with your lid open on this machine is when you're dealing with this cold wire feed. I'm going to push it. It's going to move that wire through my wand. I'm going to watch the other end, and when it comes through the other end, I will stop it. There it is. Now, let me walk you down there. I'm going to take my tip and my cap for my welder. While I've got my cap off, I'm going to just run my pliers around it. And I suggest, if you have a welder, guys, you're going to want to have a couple extra caps on hand, and a couple extra caps, and you can get a 2-pack of these caps at Harbor Freight. No big deal. And you can buy the tips at Harbor Freight. I'm not promoting these because they're at Harbor Freight. I'm promoting these because this is an excellent machine. Okay, let's go to the other side. Let's look at our welding wire. I had laid my wand out straight. Okay. I had laid my wand out straight. Now I'm not going to hit the button. I don't want to get electrocuted, so I'm not going to hit the button, but I've got my end cutters. First things first, I've got the wire from the cold feed running out here. I'm going to take my welding tip, and this is a .030, slide it on my wire, and screw it in to my tip. Now, this tip has a notch on each side, so you can take your pliers and just snug it. It doesn't have to be super tight, but you want to snug that. Then you want to take your cap, slide it on, push it down, and now what you want to do is hit your button. Keep your hand away. See if it's going to still push it out. It is. Okay, so now we've got it adjusted. Cut off the extra. You're ready to go. Okay, so I have my new spool of wire in my welder. I did not have to adjust my tensioning arm or my tension wheel or my idler arm. I didn't have to adjust any of that because I already know how it was set from the previous spool. But if you're new to this, you'll have to adjust your tension wheel to see if it gets enough push. And there's instructions in the manual on how to do that. And there's instructions right here on what kind of how much gas you need for TIG. This welder will do MIG and flux. It'll do TIG. It'll do stick. This is one of the best all-around welders for the money that you can buy from Harbor Freight. And we've used Miller We've used Miller MIGs. This one will literally run circles around a Miller MIG, okay? For the money, a Miller may cost you over $3,000. This one right here is about $800 to $1,000, depending on if you can get it if you can catch it on sale or not. But anyway, now we're ready to go back. So we want to make sure that we close our door and it's latched. And that is how you do a OmniPro 220 Vulcan MIG welder. That's how you feed the weld in it. Guys, I hope this helped. Guys, I hope this helped, and get out there and get you a MIG welder and get doing some projects. It's real simple. If you can draw with a pencil, you can MIG weld.